Day 1 for Lesson 6, Understand Functions. Think it through. What is a function? A teacher likes to remind his students that their future earnings are often a function of what they are learning. What exactly does it mean to say one thing is a function of another? It relates to dependence. Another way to present this idea above is what you are paid depends on what you know. In mathematics, a function is a rule that defines a dependent relationship. A function creates exactly one output or result for each input. Go ahead and highlight or circle that in your book right now. That a function is a rule that defines a dependent relationship and it creates exactly one output for each input. Okay? It's very important. So the diagram below shows the function add to. So if you had an input of 3, then your function says to add 2, your output would be 5. There is only one possible output for each input. The function add to is expressed in words. It can also be written as the equation y equals x plus 2, represented in a table of values and shown on a graph. Think. What are some relationships that are functions? Each coin of American currency is assigned one specific value in dollars. For example, the value of a penny is always 1 cent. In this function, an order pair relates the name of a coin and its value in dollars. So you have a penny is a penny, a nickel 5 cents, dime 10 cents, quarter 25 cents, half dollar 50 cents. Most mathematical functions include ordered pairs of numbers. For example, a 120-pound person burns about 65 calories per mile while walking. The table below shows how many calories the person will burn walking different numbers of miles. So for 1 mile, they earn 65, or they burn 65 calories. 2 miles, 130, and so on and so forth. The input is the number of miles walked, so the calories burned is going to be dependent on the number of miles this person has walked. The rule is to multiply the number of miles by 65. The output is the number of calories burned. Okay? All right, and then we're going to continue moving on. Sorry about that. Think. What are some relationships that are not functions? A basketball coach gives the starting players a game jersey. At the time, he measures the players' heights. The relationship is a function. For each jersey number, he records only one player's height. If jersey number is the input and height is the output, then the relationship is a function. So we have the jersey number's 10, the height 68. The jersey number's 13, the height 73, and so on and so forth. And this person over here is saying, he gives us a little hint. He says, I see that the height 68 is paired with 2 different jersey numbers. So we see it here and we see it here with 10 and 18. It says now let's reverse the relationship. What if player height is the input and jersey number is the output? So if we reversed it, the diagram below shows what would happen. It helps you see that when the input 68, the output may be either 10 or 18. And we see that here and here. This is not a function. In a function, only one input can have, or one input can only have one output. Please highlight this as well. In a function, one input can only have one output. And this part that we highlighted in our diagram made this part, when the height was the input, it made it not a function. So in the reflect for today, it says, do the data in this table show a function? That's the first question. And I'll just label that as question A. And then our second question is, if you switch the input and output values, is it a function? So looking at it first, we have an input of 3 gives you -3. And then it says 3 gives you 2. So that means 3 could also give you 2. 5 gives you 4, but it could also give you 5. And 6 gives you 6. Remember, a function can only have one input for each output, or one input can only have one output. we have multiple inputs, multiple input values have different outputs. So we had 3 could give you -3 or 2, and 5 could give you 4 or 5. So multiple outputs. Okay, B, so this is our A, this is our B. If you switch the input and output values, is it a function? So then if I have my output at -3, 2, 4, 5, and 6, then I have my 3, 3, 5, 5, and 6. Then I have my different inputs and my outputs. So then -3 can give you, it will give you exactly 3. 2 gives you 3. 4 gives you 5. 5 gives you 5, and 6 gives you 6. None of your inputs would repeat, so this would be a function.
I need to FaceTime around it.
Okay. So this is a function. And that is all for day 1. All we really just was really important today is when you have inputs, they cannot repeat. Okay, that was the big idea for today. Inputs should not repeat. And that's all for today.